book tip, it's Stephanie. Today I'm going to share with you my February library haul. I was not planning on doing this. When I did them more regularly, I tended to do them every 2 months. But the amount of books that have come in from the library that I requested this autumn has been absolutely ridiculous, and so has the amount of books that I then had to return before reading them. Yeah. And then also I DNF'd Leviathan Wakes. We'll tell you about it in my wrap-up for January and February. Different thing. So let's go with the 4 books that I still have from my January one. So we have Phoenix Extravagant by Yoon-Ha Lee. We also have Burning Roses by S.L. Huang. Assassination Classroom by Hussein Matsu. And Kiss of Deception. Wow. Kiss of Steel by Beck McMaster. So I'm gonna start with some big ones, and the first one is Shawfall by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is his sequel to Funricide, in which we are following a thief who gets tasked with stealing one thing that has just been received, and then things start happening and something gets loose, and killings and attacking, and it's very complex. I love the way the magic was portrayed in this world. It was brilliant, and I just never got around to reading it when I had it because a lot of people wanted it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, but it's a chunker. However, I have read the first book, so this is a sequel. Would be a pretty good thing. Yeah, I'm really intrigued by this. I want to read it, but you will see why I'm extremely hesitant when you see all the other books that I also have out. So the next book that I have is one that I wanted to read for a while, and that is Written in Red by Anne Bishop. This is a paranormal fantasy, paranormal romance, there we go, in which we are following, what was her name? Her name was Meg. We are following Meg, who is kind of like some kind of blood prophet thing. It had a fancier name, I don't remember it, and I do not want to look it up. That every time her skin's cut, she gets a vision, and she's kept captive by this person who wants to keep all her visions for himself. And then one day she manages to escape, and she flees to this place that have the others, which I guess is werewolves and things like that, considering this. And then when he finds out exactly what's going on, he needs to decide whether or not it's worth the fight and the war that might happen because they are keeping her safe. Don't really know. Paranormal romance. I wanted to read it for a while, even though it's actually pretty lengthy. It's over 400 pages for paranormal romance, which I feel is a lot, but I have wanted to read this for ages. Does that actually mean I will read it? We do not know. So let's go through some mangas, or 5 of them, because those are the ones that I have out. We have Black Clover Volume 2 and Volume 3 by Yuki Tabata. This manga series following 2 kids that are orphan, these 2, one of which have a lot of magic and one who has 0 magic. And in this world, every year you when you reach 15, I think it was, you get to this place in which a Gilmore will pick you as its user, and with the help of that Gilmore you can make magic. I guess you can make more strong magic because you could use magic before. And this person with the black hair, the classic, if you'll watch anime, like the pretty boy, the handsome one, yeah, he gets picked by a 4-leaf clover Grimoire, which is like the most powerful one there is. And this one doesn't get picked by anyone. until he outside gets picked by this ratty, really falling apart Gilmore with a 5-leaf clover. And he basically has the power of anti-magi. He can't use it, but he can repel it. And in my head, I see them as brothers that are like, I will kick your ass. Yeah, I like the relationship they have with each other, and they are both wanting to join the mages for the Empire, in which they have a chance to become the main mage in the entire kingdom, and both of them wants to become that. And the first one I really liked. As I said, this is like the classic handsome boy. He is the classic everything goes wrong, birds pick on him. I like, if you read the first one, you know exactly what I mean. But I really did enjoy the first one. And obviously she is the very powerful one, but has no control over anything. Like, as I said, very much classic relationship. So we will see how it goes. I really enjoyed the way the magic was built up in this, so I'm looking forward to continuing on with the series. The next one I have here are volume 1 to 3 in the Demon Diary manga series, and it's art by Kara and text by Shi-Young Lee. So this is volume 1. These are all translated to Swedish, but we are following a young demon lord who basically has too good of a heart to become a good demon lord, but he's the one who's basically supposed to fix things. Yeah, and his teacher needs to, you know, try to teach him dark magic. Yeah, all 3 of these I actually did not request. I saw them when I was at the library, so I got the first 3 volumes. We'll see what I think about this. I have not tried it yet, so I don't really know. So we have 5 more books. So the first book I have here of these last 5 is Fire Logic by Laurie J. Marks. This is book 1 in the Elemental Logic series. The first one being fire, the second earth, water, and then air. And this one takes place in a world that the country that these people are living in has been at war and been under siege for 15 years. And as there have been so long, famine and things are starting to kick in. And obviously the cost of the resistance to not give up against the intruders just keep on rising. And we are following a group of people who basically are supposed to change history. Maybe. We'll see. This one I was intrigued by the cover. I just liked it. I don't think it actually was the first book that I was intrigued by, and right now I can't remember which one it was, but I decided to just give this one a go. I also haven't heard anyone on BookTube talk about that, so that's also made me intrigued, because it's a finished series, so that I haven't heard anyone talk about it make me go, well, it could be because it's bad. Let's be honest. But I'm hoping it's not. And the next one, I'm surprised that I managed to get out from the library. But then again, I hear about a lot of books online on BookTube, so that could be why I was surprised. And that is The Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. Yeah, this takes place in a world where the Fae sometimes comes to the main character's village to pick a bride, and that woman is never then seen before, and it's viewed as a fate worse than that. The main character is convinced that she will never be picked, so she doesn't worry, but then one day the Elf King comes and picks her. Don't really know what else it is, and if this is not a Holly Black tribute with that human girl Elf King thing, I would be surprised. but I do think that a lot of people have either read this or are going to read this, at least amongst the booktubers that I follow and watch the videos about. So yeah, we'll see if I get to this or if I will need to return it before I can get around to it. Now, the next book is a paranormal historical fantasy, and that is Winterwood by E.A.C. Bedford. This, I don't really know exactly what the premise of it is, because as you can see, huge bar there. That was how my library used to, or library in Malmö used to have their library scanned. Now they just have this. So I don't really know what the premise or the promise of this book is, but what you can see from what you can read at the back, we are following a widowed pirate or privateer captain and unregistered witch who is followed around by her dead husband as a ghost, and she's cross-dressing, and when she goes to her mother's deathbed, she inherits a secret and a half-brother that she didn't know about, and then she is supposed to open this box with secret and try to fix what was wrong. Yeah. Husband the Ghost. That was basically why I decided to take this home with me. So the next one I have here is a sci-fi, the only sci-fi of these books, and that's Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. For what I understand, this is this is a YA series. This is not one of his most popular thing. A lot of people didn't seem to like it, but Grace from Yeast Whistle, she really enjoys this series and would like him to write more in it. So yeah, what we are following is a boy named David whose father was killed by an epic, which is a person who got powers during this calamity. I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly. And Steelheart was the one who killed him, and he wants revenge, so he wants to join the Reckoners because he knows that Steelheart can bleed. So a dystopian superhero story, and I personally think that this superhero and dystopian thing is not really that common. But yeah, I have heard a lot of people now. Grace liked it, but I have heard a lot of people going like it's not his best work, etc, etc, but I still would like to give it a go. So as for the last book, this one, when I saw it, I just got so surprised because yeah, I was not expecting it to see it in a library in Sweden. Yeah, I just didn't. And that is Shadow of the Conqueror by Chad M. Brooks. This is a fantasy science fiction-y mix, and this author is a YouTuber, and his videos are focused a lot on weapons and things like that. If things are described as realistic in movies and things like that. I saw him for the first time when he described if Hogwarts actually is a real castle. It's not, but I already knew that because it didn't look like it should have looked. That's a different discussion, and you can just watch that video. I will link his channel down below. It's called Shadiversity, and I really enjoy that channel. But this is following a person. I guess it's the one in the center because he's also on the spine. That has, after his presumed death, has been in hiding, but things start stirring and he needs to, with his friends, try to defeat some people. I don't know, and I actually don't want to look. I don't want to read through the synopsis. I just do not. I have, when he has talked about how what you need to think about in fantasy books, that if you do A, what's the consequences of it? If you have, for instance, healing magic, with people that knows how to heal, then maybe like the medicine with antibiotics and things like that doesn't exist, because why should it? You can just have a healer. But what happens then when there's a plague and these healers are killed off? Like consequences of things that you add in. And he used examples from his book, obviously. So yeah, I like it. It was in a Swedish library, for crying out loud. So yeah, this this is a thing. A lot of books, at least 5 of them are manga, but it's a lot of books. Yeah. What to do about it? Except trying to read them before I need to return them. But yeah, is there any book here that you have read that you feel like, Stephanie, why haven't you picked it up yet? Except for all of them, obviously. Thank you. Please do not mention that. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.